Welcome to the Flora Sage Podcast, a place where we help you create a life you're excited about. Today, we're going to talk about my favorite question of all time. If you are in my realm, if you're in my space and I've ever had a private conversation with you, I've probably asked you this question. So what is this question, you may ask? What are you excited about? What are you excited about? This is a question when I ask anybody, 9 out of 10 times, they look at me with a blank stare. Like, what? How often have you sat down at the table with someone or been in conversation with someone and they complain? Usually it's every single time. Oh, traffic was horrible today. Oh my God, I have so much on my to-do list. Oh, it's so hot today. It's so cold today. It's so windy today. It's so dry today. It's so humid today. And the list goes on and on. So the complaints, things we're not excited about, of course, are usually top of mind and they're very prevalent in people's lives. However, when you turn the table and you switch what you focus on and you ask someone, what are you excited about today? Their mind goes, wait, full stop. What just happened here? What am I excited about? Because the general narrative, if you turn on any social media or any news outlet or even TV, like anything, you're going to get negative news. You are going to get and hear negative information coming into you, into your ears, into your eyes. There's so much negativity going on right now. And it's not just lately, it's literally since I can remember, there's been complaints and this and that. And it's interesting seeing the body language of someone who talks about all the negative stuff that's going on and the body language of someone who's really excited about what's going on, who's more positively focused and more focused on the stuff that they're happy about and excited about and the things that are going right. And another interesting thing also is when those people who have that positive mindset, I'm not saying optimistic, I'm saying positive. There's a big difference. When someone has that positive mindset and they're focusing on more of the positive, even when they talk about the negative stuff that's going on, their body language doesn't deflate. Like their body doesn't deflate. Their shoulders stay erect. Their posture stays good. But someone who's negatively focused, their energy, like their whole body language just shrivels up and deflates and their shoulders hunch over and their abdomen kind of goes in and they get small. I want you to think about right now, what is one thing you're excited about? How would you answer that if we were sitting across from each other and I was like, hey, so-and-so, what are you excited about today? What would you do? Typically, when I ask people this, they sit up. They literally change their posture. They sit up. They kind of look at me funny. And then they kind of start thinking. They're pondering. And they're like, what am I excited about today? Sometimes they do this out loud. Sometimes they sit there quietly and just kind of think. They're like, hang on, I got to think about this for a second. But you can see a distinct change in their energy, in their mannerisms, and in their body language, and also in their facial expressions. And then they start talking about what they're excited about. Well, I'm excited to go to the dog park this weekend with my dog. I got a brand new dog this past week, and I'm so excited, and we're doing the potty training thing, and yada, yada, and I'm really excited to see how they socialize with other dogs at the dog park. That's one example that I just heard recently. Another one is, one of my friends she just released her podcast and she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. And she totally lit up. And so anytime you are not quite sure what to talk about with someone, ask them what they're excited about. Anytime you feel a lull in your own energy, ask yourself, what am I excited about? What am I excited about today? And see what shifts. See what changes, and you might be pleasantly surprised. So earlier I talked about being optimistic and being positive, and there's a difference. So I've known a lot of very optimistic people that are also very, very negative. I also know a lot of pessimistic people who are extremely positive. It's all how we choose to perceive what's going on, okay? So I kind of waffle between a lot of different things. And when I was actually speaking with someone about this recently, she's just like, well, I think that you're more of a realist because you are optimistic in some places. I've never really seen you pessimistic, but you really teeter on that optimist, realist type, energy. And I don't really like labels. I really don't, because people change. Life just comes and goes. It ebbs, it flows. We've got the high points, we've got the low points, we have everything in between. And labels tend to keep us stuck. So, but I really would truly classify myself as someone who tries to look for the good in everything. Even if something is a shit show, I'm like, okay, what's the opportunity in this shit show? And one of the things that I always say is shit, AKA manure, is fertilizer. I grew up in Wisconsin, so every spring and fall, or most every spring and fall, some farmer in somewhere in the near vicinity, if the wind blows right, has and will spread manure on their field. But that year or that next year, depending on if it's spring or fall, they literally have a bumper crop. Like their crops are huge right after they spread that manure and that fertilizer. So even amongst a shit show, there is that silver lining. That is fertilizer for something great that is on its way. Yes, there has been massive shit shows in my life where it's been very challenging to find the opportunity, to find that silver lining, and to find what feels good, and to really get clear about what I'm excited about. But even amongst the shit show, I ask myself, what am I excited about today? And usually I'm excited that I got out of bed. I'm excited that I have my amazing dog next to me. I'm excited that I have an amazing partner. I'm excited that I'm healthy. I'm excited that it's sunny outside. I'm excited that I have eyes to see, and I've got legs to move, and I've got hands to hug and reach out to the people that love me and that I love back. And sometimes that's all we can do when life hands us that cosmic 2x4 that kind of smacks us over the head and gives us this major plot twist in our life. When we can pivot and say, what's one thing I'm excited about today? And you just keep going. Okay, what's another thing I'm excited about? What's another thing I'm excited about? What's another thing that I'm excited about? And I know that this might sound a little bit Pollyanna-ish to some people, but I don't care. Like, it works. It truly, truly works. And we're not meant to be on this planet to be miserable. We are not. I am truly convinced of this, you guys. We're here to make the most of every single day. Every single day. So why not ask yourself, what am I excited about today? What am I really, truly excited about? Yesterday, I got some dental stuff done. I've been in the process of getting implants. This is not my first rodeo with implants. I've had full mouth reconstruction. But yesterday, I drove about an hour and 15 minutes to get my implants exposed. So basically what they do is 6 months ago, they drilled into my bone, put some implants in there, and then sewed me up and let it sit. So yesterday, they sliced open my gum, which I was numb for. Yay. I'm very grateful and very excited for non-epinephrine Novocaine. It's not called Novocaine, but non-epinephrine numbing agent, because I am sensitive to epi. So I was so grateful and thankful for that, and super excited that they're like, oh yeah, we can absolutely use the epi-free stuff. I'm like, yes. And then they put the two things in to help expose my implants, and then they sewed me up and then sent me on my way. And I was so grateful and so excited that they honored my request, because I'm very sensitive to epi. And I was very excited about that, because the surgery prior to that, where they actually put the implants in, that wasn't an option, because the surgery lasted about an hour or so, and using the non-epi numbing agent was not an option. And what that does is it spikes my blood pressure, spikes my anxiety, and I'm like, I don't like this. So I was very excited for that. Another thing is, I was really excited to go for a walk with my dog. I was really excited to have dinner with my boyfriend. I was really excited that my 3-year anniversary ring came in. Super pumped about that. I'll probably do a whole episode about sacred geometry. And those of you who follow me on Instagram, you saw the ring. I posted it in my stories. I freaking love it. And, there's always something small that we can be so grateful and thankful for. And there was a time where I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. Those of you who read the bonus chapter of my book, which you can download on my website, florasage.com, click on the book page, and then the free chapter download is available on that page. But in any case, so on my way back from South Africa, they sat me by the toilet. So all night I was just smelling poop, and I was like, oh my God, seriously. And I was so pissed, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And I can't remember what I said, but the guy behind me, he goes, "You are the most miserable woman I have ever seen." And I was like, oh shit. So I was not seeing the silver lining at that point in my life, but that was a huge wake-up call. I was like, oh my God, I do not like this version of myself. So I'm not saying this, I'm not suggesting that we look for the silver lining, and I'm not suggesting that we look for things we're excited about from naivety, thinking that life isn't a shit show, because sometimes it literally is a freaking shit show. But I'm here to say that the more you focus on the shit, the more shit you're going to find. And when you start to shift your energy and you start to shift what you look for, you're going to start to see more things that you're excited about and more things that you're grateful and thankful for than the stuff that you don't like. So this is huge, huge. So I hope that this serves you today. And I really encourage you to ask yourself, what am I excited about today? And I also encourage you to ask the people in your life the same thing, because I'm here to tell you that those answers are so cool. They are so cool whenever you ask your loved ones, your kids, your partner, your caregivers, your sisters, brothers, whomever, all the people in your life that you care about. What are you excited about today? See how their body language changes. See how their face changes. And also see what the answer is. And I can guarantee you it's going to spark a really exciting, really amazing conversation. So I hope this serves you today. I love you. And I'm so looking forward to connecting with you either privately or on any of the apps that I'm on. So I love you, and I will speak with you or see you in the next episode. If you're enjoying this content, which I hope you are, and you're applying this knowledge in your life and are seeing results, I would love to hear about your successes. Click the link in today's show notes, share your success story with me so you can help to inspire others. Also, if you've been loving these episodes, it would mean the world to me if you would rate this podcast on iTunes. A 5-star rating is what I always aim for. Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. All links mentioned are in today's show notes.